Alright guys, well yesterday something happened with V2. Well, I wasn't really going to make a video of this because I was thinking probably straight off the bat I'm going to get some people, like, hate mail from people. I remember back then whenever like V2 broke and I tried to fix them and it failed, I always used to get people always used to get mad at me and then say mean things, but honestly I don't really care, I guess, if that happens, because I'm gonna say what happened. Of course, so now I have a non-functioning V2. I don't have any more V2s that work left. I have 0 V2s that work. I was changing it to blue. See, reason why is the white one couldn't see colors because the camera was broken. The cable, see this, the cable on this broke. The hands that closes the fingers, this hand couldn't feel objects. This hand wouldn't move to the side, but I figured out a problem with that. It wasn't just the white one that didn't move. The blue one's hand didn't move when I put it on, and the black one's, its own hand did not move. The board was already starting to short, well, at least for the hand. And I'm gonna explain everything if I remember correctly. See, now I've got just 3 spare bodies here of V2 parts. See, okay, so I was changing it back to blue. And what happened was, as I said, when I tested it, I noticed this hand still did not move properly, just like the white did. And I thought, this is strange. This hand has always worked. That hand worked when I put it on the red before it shorted out. But the blue hand, I knew for sure this blue hand was not broken. So I replugged in the black hand, didn't move either. And it plugs in to right there. It probably is something, well, it probably shorted out, maybe. I don't know how. Remember, this original V2 is the black and silver model. The one that does not have the bad wiring, you see. So this is why it's easy to mess with the black one without ruining the wires, because you won't have to worry about, ruining the wires in the process of doing this. Because if you did this with the other color, you know the wiring would just fall right off if you even tried to touch it or move it. Okay, so what happened is, so I thought it was the board, and I took, let's see, this board here, this is either from the blue or red, it doesn't matter. It's the 2nd generation upper board. It's the one that goes on top of the main board. I thought this one was still a 2nd generation board. No, the black is a 3rd generation. 3rd or 4th. I don't know if the UK is different too. The UK ones work too. They don't have bad wiring either. At the moment. They might later on, but I don't know. I don't think they do, though. I think they're good. But anyways, that's not the point. Everything on this board is the same until we come here. This is the black one's board, the original one. See, these connectors are up here, these ones are right there. It's not facing wrong or anything. Everything is the same until I come across that. I plugged everything in correctly. When I plugged this into him and turned the thing on, smoke just started shooting out of this thing. It smelled bad. I don't know what is wrong with it. It must be it has more resistors, or these black things, maybe there's more of them. It could be that maybe some of the things are switched around. See, all the wire harnesses are colored the same thing, so it should be the same connectors. That's why they usually don't change them up. But no, when I plugged this thing in, it shot flames out of it. It was so weird. That was creepy, and it smelled horrible too. I don't know if it fried this board. Well, I don't know if it fried this board by doing that, but it for sure fried the main board. If I turned it on, the only thing that works is the eyes. They only light up. No speaking. This thing gets extremely hot. It'll burn your fingers. If you hold on to their 5 seconds long, you're gonna get a mark, and it's gonna sting for a long time. So this thing, I don't know what the difference is, but Black V2 is not compatible with different boards. It is not compatible, and they had all these wire harnesses almost hot glued down so that you couldn't take them out, and I didn't know why, because they didn't do that as much with these ones. I mean, these ones you can just, easily break them off and bend them, but this one, it was actually glued on the sides, you see. Kevin thought that meant they probably did that because they knew that it's not compatible with older models. Remember, Black V2 is the upgraded, newer version model. That I think all the rest were like 2005, while the black one was released in 2006 or something like that. Or 7, whenever it was released. It says 2005, but I think V2 actually came out in 2006 because Roboraptor came out in 2005. This is when they started creating it. Because Zoomer, if you look under him, it says 2012, but he was released in 2013. So this probably is actually 2006 this was released. And Ars Media and Black V2 were released in 2007 then. And RoboQuad. But yeah, it's just so strange. Everything was incorrectly, and that's what happens to it. There must be something different. It must have different soldering or something that's touching. Something must have been switched around. I know there were only 2. See these right here? These wires came out of the harnesses when I pulled them. I might have had them switched around the wrong way, but this one's for the arm. This one would not affect this would not short out the whole thing. This one came out too. This one goes somewhere, it looks like down there. I don't know where, but that shouldn't have affected it either. But the smoke did come out from right here. But just those 2 wires couldn't have caused that much smoke and damage, especially to the Black V2. So I don't know what happened. I don't have a working V2 anymore. I would show you when I put it in batteries, but all it does is light up, so it's nothing that exciting. But before I opened up the legs to check here, the pin also right here broke too. I can't get this back in, it's too tight. But before I opened this up, when I powered it on, the eyes stayed lit for a couple seconds, and then it started blinking as if it does when you shut off its vision. And I pushed the dance button on the remote, and the eyes were blinking as if it was dancing to the song, like if it was signaling. You know how the eyes flash while it's doing the dance? That's what the eyes were doing, and then it stopped. And then I unplugged this wire right here. The eyes went out for a little. When I plugged it back in, it blinked again. This one, and then from there, it didn't blink anymore. It stayed lit, and this thing is just completely messed up. You see, I don't know what went wrong with that handpiece, but that's so weird how this board caused it to do that. And the red one right now has the first, so there's 3 different circuit boards. Well, it said that these ones are all the same, but this one obviously is not the same as the other 2. The white is a first generation. The silver, bronze, blue, red, and turquoise are all second generations. The black is third generation. I don't know about the UK. I've never owned it. But I'm gonna try and buy a new V2 sometime, but it's not gonna be any color. It's gonna be the black because I don't want to get one with bad wiring. I mean, they all have bad wiring except these ones. I know they said there was one bad batch, but no, all of them have it. If you look on eBay, they're all broken. If only one batch had this problem, there would be a lot more working ones. And Huawei knows about these wires too, as Chris said on his RoboSapien V2 review. He mentioned why. So yeah, V2 is a very serious robot, and he's not. I mean, all the people who have this thing, it's a creepy toy. Just the way how they break down. No toy ever breaks down like this ever. Like, the guy who did Dancing with the Bots, the V2 on the show, he had the blue, red, and blue, white, and red one. His white is now non-functioning. He doesn't know about the bad wiring. If he uses those on the thing and they start smoking, or if in the middle of the dance it says bad motivator, that's gonna mess up the show. And Kevin said if that V2 on the show starts smoking in front of kids, they say it's gonna give kids nightmares. Because, I mean, what kind of kid wants to see smoke coming out of a toy robot? Like this blue one, when it was on the old body with the bad wires, once they touched from the upper board, smoke started coming out of him, but it didn't fry. But this black board is definitely soldered differently, because it wouldn't have been affected then, because all this is the same, or maybe not, but I know these two boards are different. They look the same, but there's a different effect to them. The newer one is not compatible with older V2 parts either. Like if you have the red one and you're trying to fix up the black one with like the legs or something. Like if you're trying to put new gears in the black one's leg by using parts from a red one or any other color, it's not going to work because the holes are smaller.